Hello friends, in the last class we have learned how to use call method in a function without parameters like here, but today we will learn to use the call method in a function which accept parameters, and then we will learn why do we need apply method over call method, and then we will learn some real life scenarios as in case of data coming from an API and usage of apply method over call method. So this class is gonna be so interesting. Without wasting time, let's get started. So first of all, I'll revise you some previous class concepts. As we have learned that if we want to use the method of object 1 using the values of object 2, we will need to use call method in JavaScript. So here we are telling that object 1 dot print obj1, use the print obj function of object 1 and call this function using object 2. So here we needed to call the method of Yash object with the values of Angelina object. So I'll run this code and quickly revise this concept. So I'll run. So see, it is running Angelina 28 female. The instead of returning the values of yes 25 male, this print obj is now returning the values of Angelina object. Now let's say we will learn that how can we call the function with parameters. Here there are no parameters in this print obj function, but now here there are parameters in the print obj functions. So let's quickly come to this example. First of all, this is an object 3, yes, age 25, gender male, and print obj function is doing, it is greeting all the names coming to this function. So we will call this object, let's call this object and obj3 dot print obj, right? We will call this print function like this only. So let's run this code. See, it is printing yes greets undefined, undefined, undefined. So we have not passed any parameters over here, so let's pass parameters. Let's say ma pa and the. Okay, so let's now run this function, and because we haven't passed any name over here, so it was returning undefined, undefined, undefined. But now if we pass over here, if we pass the names over here, then it will run as expected. Yes reads ma pa and da. So now if we want to call this function using Angelina object, how will we use that? We will use the same call function obj3.printObject.call obj4. We need to call this print function using obj4. So we have passed 4, and this call method takes infinite amount of parameters and it maps all the parameters to the original function. So let's say if we pass ma over here, so this call method will automatically map first parameter to name 1, second parameter to name 2, and third parameter to name 3. Let's for now just do this ma 3 pa 3 da 3, and let's comment this code, and now you will see that the code will run Angelina greets ma 3 pa 3 and da 3. So because we have used this call function with parameters, and I will like to repeat it again that this call function takes infinite amount of parameters and maps each parameter with the parameter of function. So now let's run this code and see what is the output. So first of all, I'll clear the output over here, and now I'll again run this code, and you see that Angelina greets ma 3 pa 3 and dada 3. So this was how we can easily call the function with parameters using the infinite number of arguments after the first argument, because first argument tells the call method for which object do you need to call this function, and for after first argument onwards, all the parameters are mapped to name1, name2, name3, and as such. Let's say if you give say the 4, it will have no effect in this because it will not give error, and it will say it will map first 3 parameters, and after the fourth parameter it will not map, so this will have no effect and it will print the same thing as above. See, Angelina greets Mahat3, Path3 and Dada3. Since there is no 4 parameter, so there is no 4th parameter in the original function, so this 4th parameter get eradicated. Now let's say if we give only 3 parameters, if we give only 2 parameters over here, so it will map Mahat3 with the name 1, Path3 with the name 2, and since there is no 3rd parameter, it will pass undefined to name 3, and it will give Angelina greets Math3, Path3 and undefined. So let's run this code and see, Angelina greets Math3, Path3 and undefined. So till now the call function is over. This was only the things in the call function, call method of JavaScript, and interview will ask only these questions from you. Now let's say interviewer can ask, why do we need apply method over call method? What is the use of apply method, and what is the difference between apply and call method? So I will tell you the difference between apply and call method is only single difference, that you are passing call method the infinite number of arguments, but apply method take only 2 arguments. First is the object and second argument is the list of all the arguments. So instead of passing infinite number of arguments, you pass only 2 arguments. First argument is the object for which the call method, for which the function has to be called, and second parameter will be the list of all these parameters. I'll explain this you through an example. Let's say this is the function object 5, and this is the same function, this is the same object which we have defined earlier, and this is the object 6. And now instead of passing greeting individually Ma, Pa and Dada, we will pre-calculate the list of parameters that needs to be passed in the function, and then we will pass as a single parameter that list. This is the only difference between apply and call method. So instead of passing each parameters individually and writing it one by one, we have pre-calculated the list of parameters and we have passed it as a single parameter. Now let's run this code. See, it is printing the same thing, Angelina greets Ma, Pa and Dada. So you will ask, why do we need this apply method when we can use call method? What is the advantage of using apply method over call method? So I will explain you with the real life scenario. Before I explain you, hit the like button if you are liking the video till now, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I will keep on giving you some more great videos and conceptual concepts where you can learn all the things fundamentally step by step. So now I will tell you why this can be called in an API. Like in the real life scenario, what happens, we don't write individually that Yash has to greet M1, P1, D1. We will not write it manually. We will get the data from an API in the array form, where it will be an array of objects where you will be told that name Yash should greet M1, P1, D1, Ujjwal should greet M3, P3, D3, Akash should greet M2, D2, P2. So all this thing. So you will get in the real life scenario, you will get an API response as this. So if you use the same thing using call method, you have to pass three parameters again and again like this. What is the meaning of this? So you are calling the object 7 print object method using data object 0. So this is the data object 0, right? Data of data zeroth object of data array. So zeroth object of data array, you will call this method using zeroth object of data array. So this object you are using, and you are passing each greeting individually. Data 0, list of greeting 0. List of greeting 0 means M1, list of greeting 1 means P1, and list of greeting 2 is D1. So now you have to pass three parameters separately, writing like this. So if we run this code, it will say Yash will greets M1, P1, D1, and you now have to write all the parameters separately. So if you run this code, say yes greets M1, P1, D1. But now you will not again write it individually 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Instead, you will just write list of greeting over here using apply method. So that is the real advantage of apply method, that you don't need to use all this list of greeting 0, 1, 2 individually. You just try to write list data 0 on list of greeting. You passed over it the array, this array at a single time, and it will do all the magic for you. So if I comment this code and if I run this code, then you will find that the same thing has happened, just writing the parameters only a single time as a list of parameters. So yes greets M1, P1, D1. Now let's say you want to print all the greetings at one go. So what you will do, you will apply a for loop. Each element object of data will be taken in element, and you will just write a single line of code that call the object 7 print object method using this object, each object. Like first it will take Yash object, then it will take Ujjwal object, then it will take Akash object, and so on. So this object will be automatically taken by in the element. So element, and you just need to pass element dot list of greeting, which will take the list of arguments in the main function. So if you comment over this code and if you print this code over here, you can find that it has print over this thing. So we have learned conceptually each and every concept using apply and call method. We have learned the advantage of using apply method over call method, that you don't need to pass each parameter separately in apply method. You just need to pass the list of parameters, and it will automatically map all the things to the main function. So you have learned the advantage of using apply method. You have learned how to use call method using parameters, and you have learned all the possible interview questions for apply and call method. So if you like my video, hit a like button and subscribe to my playlist as well as channel, because I have made more such content into that playlist and have done a great deal of job in making you understand the concepts fundamentally from the base and lifting you up to the complicated coding. So thank you and have a nice day.